There's a fascinating data set now that's been collected over the last 50 years that's only really been available since resuscitation techniques have been possible in cardiac and neurosurgery, where patients who've been in a state of reversible clinical death, who've then been resuscitated, have recounted being vividly conscious even when their brain has technically been dead and without any detectable EEG signal. So a cardiac arrest patient or someone that has had to have very deep brain surgery to sort an aneurysm or so on. And there are, so here's the question: when the brain dies, what happens to human consciousness? And of course, a very strong view out there is that consciousness is very, very inextricably tied to the brain. So when the brain dies, the person dies. That's the end of the person. But near-death experiences seem to be showing us a slightly different story if we're to take them seriously. And I think we certainly have to take a good, healthy look at them, given that there are thousands of accounts now from people who have nothing to gain from sharing their experience. In fact, some have been hesitant to do so on the basis that people will think they're a little bit off their rocker. And, these are showing us that actually, in some cases, when the brain has died, even that if that's reversibly and temporarily, they actually not just remain conscious, but are vividly conscious and have access to information that makes no sense in the natural. It makes no sense if we're to say, no, that's just hallucination or conjecture or wishful thinking and so on. None of those arguments actually stack up. There's a big difference between hallucinating and having a near-death experience. You need a functioning brain to hallucinate. But of course, these patients don't have a functioning brain. So it's a fascinating data set that does suggest that there could be more to consciousness than meets the eye, that it could be the case that even when the brain has died or ceased to function, that there's a you that continues to function. And the irony of it is that we don't even need to step outside of the field of clinical neuroscience to have access to this kind of data.